BookBaby has an opportunity, and it truly is an opportunity, to speak with thousands of authors really every month. And the same questions kept coming up over and over. These were authors who were really interested, very ambitious, and just full of questions. And they tended to run into the same pattern. So we thought, what's a good way to get this information out, distributed in a more general basis? And that's where I came up with the idea of the book and the guide. It's the part where BookBaby takes over, which is the end. It's the point where the authors kind of turn over their manuscripts to us, but that's when their questions begin. They wonder, okay, now that I think my book is done, what should I be doing with it? And we have some important steps for them to think about, consider, not necessarily things that BookBaby does, but for the author to really kind of consider, am I ready to be published? The first thing we need to know is, really, is your book done? Are you really finished? Now, we have a saying that we don't try to let great get in the way of good. You can't perfect your book over and over. So it's important to know when the baby is done, when the egg is boiled, or whatever term you want to use. And so we have some ideas for people to say, how do we determine if this book is ready for the next step, which is, I'm done with my part of the creative process. Now I need to maybe turn it over to others for some help, which is step number 2. Step number 2 is one that you really cannot avoid. That is editing. I would say that when we talk with people on the phone at BookBaby, one of the questions we always ask, and unless it's a poetry book or a children's book, which sometimes doesn't need this kind of work, is, have you had it edited? And surprisingly, too many people say no. And we give them recommendations. We have a service, but there are many, many brilliant editors out there around the globe to help bring authors' work up to the level that they're really going to be happy with, and to really feel that they're putting out their best product into the marketplace. So step 3 is deciding, where do we go with this book? Do I want to try self-publishing? Do I want to try traditional publishing? Do I want to do both? And in my book, I'm examining, really all of the pluses and minuses. And there are pluses and minuses for both sides of this. There are great reasons to be traditionally published. There are tremendous reasons to be self-published. And we kind of come down on the self-publishing side of things, but nothing makes us happier when one of our authors who self-publishes, they're read by agents and traditional publishers, and they say, wow, I see a talent here, and they sign on the dotted line with a traditional publisher. One of my favorite blog posts, as a matter of fact, the headline was, "Leaving BookBaby was the best decision she ever made," because she wrote a great book, she had it edited, she published it through us. A traditional publisher founder said, you know what, we think we can actually even improve this and focus it in, and we were happy to see her go. I mean, sad on one level, but happy for her success, because we know that she's told 5, 10, 25 other people how she did it. So that benefits BookBaby, and it benefits all the authors. Step number 4 is something which, unfortunately, most authors don't think about until well after the book is even finished, and that is marketing. Now, if I was really doing it now, I would say marketing might be step 1, because I think our most successful self-published authors are those who think about the marketing of the book prior to even writing the first word. No, they don't want to write it just for a market, but they can do things along the way to help guide them where they're going to promote it early on. Hey, I'm working on this. How is their Twitter feed and their blog posts? So to have that awareness of the marketing early in the process is best. I put it at number 4 because that felt like, for most first-time authors, the best place. It's not an overwhelming thought to have it, so early in the book. I want them to focus on what they need to, and I think marketing is a good 4th step along this process. Step 5 is one where, again, we advise people to get professional help, as it were. So many people have a sister-in-law who went to their local community college of art and design who believe that they can do book covers. And our goal in life is to help people avoid websites such as Kindle cover disasters or something like that with a cover that looks doesn't display their book to its best form. I mean, cover design is a true micro art form. I mean, there are great covers, there are not so great covers. It's like, and it seems like you instantly know when it's a good cover and when it's not. There are conventions and standards. You're not going to have a thriller that has pink flowers on it, probably, or a murder mystery in bright blue. So there are some basic conventions, but obviously a lot of opportunity for creative design and inspiration. But this is something that's best left in the hands of a talented and skilled book designer. Again, millions of them around the world who can help you. We have a service of that. We also recommend other people as well. It's a tremendous investment. You have just so little time to have a person devoted to looking on your Amazon listing or your own website to say, do I want that book or do I not? It's that first impression. You just can't get that in any other way. Finally, this comes into our bailiwick, as it were. BookBaby is a self-publishing service provider. So we provide a lot of services, and we've grown tremendously throughout the years in this way. We started as an ebook only company, and now we've evolved to where we're actually printing books ourselves in our own facility in Philadelphia. We are sticklers for quality. And we pride ourselves in producing some tremendous books. We went out and invested in state-of-the-art, machines, HP 10,000s. We really have trained up our people well. So this is the part. A lot of people want to do this first. They want to say, "Oh, I want a print book and an ebook," but that really almost comes after the rest of the recipe has been cooked. You can make it in any form. So we suggest people wait till the very end to decide, am I going to do a printed book? Am I going to do print on demand? Am I going to do an ebook? Do I need ebook distribution? How much do I want to sell on my own website? Again, it's not the usual pathway that people are expecting. And you can take these out of order, no question about it. If you are smart and you are capable of doing the marketing early, awesome. That could be step one. But these are 6 really important steps, and they can be done in a consolidated time frame. Now, is it best? If someone took 6 months to do this, there's no shame in that. In fact, there's a lot of advantages to taking your time. We purposely do not have rush services with BookBaby. There is no good that comes out of rushing a book. So we have made a point of stressing, take your time, do this right, be proud of it. And these steps can take 6 weeks, they can take 6 months. I wouldn't take any less than 6 weeks because you really need to take the concern. But if somebody is working on this full time, a lot of this can be truly accomplished in 6 weeks. The publishing world now, with the revolution of being able to access the marketplace and really access all these wonderful providers like editors and designers, it gives authors so many different options, and we are one. There are many great options in self-publishing, and there are a lot of DIY type things. We're here for those authors who perhaps are not technically inclined, perhaps they don't really have the time to learn how to code a beautiful print PDF or a flawless EPUB. We're here to provide those services. It's very a la carte. We don't lock people into packages or things like that. Everything 100% guaranteed as well. If I can't guarantee it, I don't sell it. For instance, I don't sell elaborate marketing services where I guarantee that books will be sold, because I can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee a beautiful cover design or a beautiful ebook conversion or a beautiful printed book. We're just about to announce the full results of our 2017 self-publishing survey. We were privileged to have 8,000 authors and aspiring authors send us their thoughts, information, ideas, experiences about their self-publishing and traditional publishing, expectations and reality. I debuted a little bit at the San Francisco Writers Conference earlier this year. I'm going to talk a little bit about it in a presentation here at London Book Fair, but we're going to release white papers and press releases over the course of the next 2 or 3 months. There were no smoking guns in there, but once you dig down into the details, some patterns really emerged, and we were able to identify the successful habits and traits and observations and opinions of the most successful self-publishing authors. Over 800 of the folks that we surveyed made over $5,000 on their last book in the last 12 months. So these were people who were really doing it the right way. We asked them a lot of questions about what they did, what they didn't do, what worked, what didn't work, and we're anxious to get those results out there.